Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Budapest, Hungary.
It's a new city and a new country for us, and we always figure the best way to experience a new place is by trying the food. So today we are going to be doing a Hungarian food tour.
You guys, check out what we have here.
So this is called a Langos, I believe. So it's basically deep fried dough smothered in sour cream and then cheese on top. So essentially it's really, really healthy. Okay, you're gonna give this a go. I really hope it's not as messy as it looks like it's gonna be, but let's see.
Well, that stayed together pretty well.
It's very thick on the bottom, so I don't think it's gonna fall apart. Very, I don't want to use word to use dense, but it's like crispy on the bottom. There's not too much sour cream. I was worried it was gonna be like slathered in it. Just a nice coating, so it adds a little bit of like a sourness to it.
Yeah, I find it interesting.
Really
the cheese isn't even like melted. It's just kind of thrown on top of there. I'm trying to figure out what this reminds me of. The dough itself reminds me of a savory donut. And the sour cream on there is just such an interesting thing to put on in general. The cheese isn't melted, it's shredded, but it's kind of gooey. And I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, but it's really good altogether.
Alright, so thoughts on our first food of the day. Better than I thought it would be and less messy than I thought it would be. Definitely not something you could eat every day though. It's pretty heavy and not so healthy. We did notice you can get a bunch of different options. So we went for the typical one with just with sour cream and cheese, but you can get like bacon and onions and a whole bunch of things on top if you want to.
Okay, so next up on the list is something a little more sweet. It's also something I cannot pronounce, so I'll put it on the screen here. I can tell you this, it's made up of chestnuts. And
we've heard that chestnuts are really, really popular here, especially in the wintertime, which it's not right now. We are boiling, it's the middle of summer, it's so hot. So if we look like we're melting, we are. It's like 35 degrees today.
So we just came over to this place called Turv, and as you can see, it's really interesting. There's all these like old retro items. It feels like a traditional place to us, and it has air conditioning. So now we're kind of getting nice and cool. And well, we got one more thing we're gonna show you.
All right, so as we were saying, we're gonna try a dessert this time. It's something made out of chestnuts. I'm gonna say it totally wrong, but it's something like Gesztenyepüré, I think is the name of it. Sorry, I'm totally saying that wrong. It's basically made out of chestnut puree, and then they put some whipped cream on the top. It looks delicious.
Ooh.
It's kind of crumbly.
Yeah, it is kind of crumbly.
Ooh. The best thing I can think to describe it is it tastes like Christmas to me. When it first came to the table, I kind of thought it was going to be like a mousse, but it's not. It's like crumbled up chestnuts, basically, and I'd say there's some sort of spices in there. Maybe nutmeg and those sort of Christmassy things, and that's probably why it tastes like Christmas to me. It's really delicious, but it's really hard to describe because it's like nothing I've ever had before. All
right, so I got my own bite here. I got a bit of everything. It's really crumbly. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Wow. It's like nothing I've ever had before. There has got to be liquor in there.
I think there might be.
Yeah.
It almost tastes like a nutty liqueur to me.
Yeah. So to me, right off the bat, there's definitely a nutty liqueur going on, I think. Watch there not be that in there at all. But the texture is just really pasty. I don't know if that's a good word to use or not, but it's very creamy and pasty. And it tastes really good. It goes down smooth. It's really nice with the whipped cream as well. I'm liking it. So I can totally see how this is more of a winter dessert. It's probably not something we should be getting in the summer, but overall, I give this a big thumbs up.
It's delicious.
now a few hours later and we are hungry. In Hungary, I had to say that lame joke.
Had to be done. Had to be done. But now we are looking to see if we can find a restaurant that has a few traditional dishes that we can try.
Alright guys, we came over to a place called Hungary, in Hungary.
And we're hungry.
The lame jokes are not gonna stop, but I got a beer. It's called Bolognese, I believe. And Anna, what do you got?
Oh, I keep forgetting the name of it. Frosch.
I think it's Frosch.
So it's basically like you get a glass of wine and then they add sparkling water to it. And apparently somebody told us that sparkling water was invented here in Hungary. Okay, gonna give this a go. It's nice and refreshing in the heat, and you know you're getting hydrated while you drink wine, and that is a win.
I think you said the other day it kind of reminds you of like sort of a spritzer?
It's like a spritzer because basically you have wine, they add some sparkling water to it. At home, like a spritzer would have ice and then like some berries in it, so it's similar to that.
Alright, so I'm gonna give this Borsodi a try. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, it's a really easy drinking lager. The guy said basically that this is I think a city or a town here in Hungary, so it must be brewed there obviously, but it's pretty good. It goes down nice and easy. Okay, the first dish has arrived, and it is goulash soup, which is pretty traditional for this area. We also got some chili. This almost looks like a chili paste or something, and I think we just kind of added in there. Guys, this looks incredible. There's a lot going on in here, as I think you can see. So much meat. I think these are pasta balls? I don't know what to call them. There's lots of vegetables as well. It looks really hearty. I'm going for it. Wow. That is absolutely delicious. It is so hearty, but you know what I didn't get there is a hunk of meat, so hang on. Give me 1 second. All right, take a look at this big guy. This is so good. There's so much flavor in this. The meat must be slow cooked over time. It's just like an explosion of goodness. You have to try this. Anna doesn't eat meat, but I think you can kind of pick around it and get at that good stuff in there. So Anna just took a whole bunch of that chili and she's putting it in there. Maybe we mix it up a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Let me just move my spoon, or I'll help you. How about that? See if that gives it a bit of kick. You're just gonna go for the broth?
Yeah, I think so. So you just said I don't eat meat, which isn't entirely true. I eat pork, I eat chicken. I'm just not a big beef person, but I don't care if it's like in like the broth. That's totally fine. Didn't add a whole lot of kick to it. A little bit, but not a lot. We might need to add a lot of chili in there to get it spicy. Reminds me of like a really hearty vegetable soup.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to like that wintry thing. Definitely a good place to come for some winter food. It's really hearty.
The main course just showed up, and oh my, I have some roasted pork, and they call this Gypsy style, and I think there's peppers and tomatoes and onions in there. And what do you got going on over here?
I got the chicken paprikash. So basically, if you didn't know, paprika is like a huge thing here. It's like their #1 spice. So it's chicken and like a sauce with paprika and some dumplings, which is basically like a type of pasta.
Anna is digging right in over here. Wow, this looks good.
It's so saucy, I can't even tell if there's bones in here. Hopefully not.
It looks hearty and rich and everything I love. All right.
Let's go for it. So delicious. So it's basically like a really thick noodle, but they're small, so it's like a dumpling slash pasta. I don't even know what to describe it as. And then the chicken is in almost a gravy, but it's paprika flavored. It's really good, very hearty, and delicious.
All right, I got a giant bite. I'm gonna try it. So. That is intense. That is so delicious. I really like how they have the pasta like in the plate, and the dish itself here. It's kind of separated from the stew, so you can get the different flavors between the both of them. But they eventually mix together and make this great combination. Now I'm just excited to try my own. So being completely honest here, I didn't even realize under all this pork, there's this stew. Like there's vegetables, it's also creamy, it looks extremely rich. Looks like what I probably don't want to eat in it's 35 degrees today, so wish me luck. Wow. You know, guys, the sauce is somewhat similar, meaning like it's very consistent, it's very hearty, it's very rich.
It's probably full of paprika.
It's full of paprika. That seems to be Hungary's thing. I'm so into the flavors in this. Let's see what this is. I think it's maybe that's a potato. Oh. Yeah, like the potato just soaks up all that sauce. This is just lovely, it's delicious. I don't know why it has taken us so long to get to Hungary. We are now right back where we started in the square. The church is behind us, but now it's all lit up and it's a little darker out.
And it's beautiful. I don't know if you can tell. So we ate some really delicious food today. I have to say I loved everything we had, but it was really, really heavy. It's also 35 degrees out.
So
maybe not the best food for like super heat, but if you're coming here in the winter, it's probably the best thing you could eat. But yeah. I think tomorrow we'll maybe like stick to salads.
Salads, tomorrow it is. I will say, one thing about Hungarian food that surprised me is how unique the dishes are. So, you guys know we travel a lot, but the dishes here today we've never tried some things like
Definitely
that today.
not.
I mean, we've had some stews before, but there was a few other dishes that were just very unique and totally unexpected. And all I can say is if I could do today all over again, I absolutely would. It was delicious.
It was delicious, but I'd probably do it in the winter.
That's right. So maybe we'll come back in the winter.
We should. I'd come back here a million times. I love the city so far. If you haven't already been watching our last video, we were in Vienna.
Yep.
Coming up next, we're gonna explore a little bit more of this beautiful city.
Yeah, so go back and watch the Vienna vlog. In the next vlog, you're gonna see us roam around Budapest. We're gonna get lost a little bit, but we're gonna see what the city has to offer, and we already know there's a lot going on here to see.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Budapest, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.